no. I broke that relief and I need to...
What?
That gel is almost... Finally. Whew.
Bio.
Hello, Fabian. It's me again.
Oh,
Oh,
welcome back,
shit.
Officer Wallace.
Officer Police.
Did Mr. Bogdanov ever meet his friends here?
Yes, he met many friends here.
Such as who? Can you tell me some names?
I wouldn't know where to start. At least half of the crowd here seem to be buddies with him.
And he met these people here in the club.
Mostly, I think. The man was never alone. He will be missed here.
Did he ever bring company with him?
Come to think of it, he did on a few occasions.
Do you remember any of them?
Well, I remember one. It is Mr. Mikhailov.
You just remember one?
Yes, I am not very good with names.
Then how come you remember this name?
Because he is here right now, sitting at the corner table, over there.
Oh.
Does Mr.
the
Mikhailov
big
often
boss.
frequent this place?
Mr. Mikhailov first came in here with Mr. Bogdanov. Let me think, a few weeks back.
Do you know anything about him?
I know he is an important businessman who visits Adrianopolis on a regular basis.
Do you know what type of business he's involved in?
No, I don't.
Did Mr. Mikhailov and Mr. Bogdanov have a business relationship?
It seemed like it,
Why do you think so?
because they would occasionally prefer a quiet table at the very back.
And did these meetings go on very long?
Not really. They would usually be interrupted by Mr. Bogdanov's buddies.
Do you know who the lady is sitting next to Mr. Mikhailov?
That is Mata Hari.
You know her?
Of course. She is the main attraction.
Main attraction for what?
She is the dancer they all come to see.
And what kind of dance does Mata Hari do?
She is the queen of exotic dancers. She can captivate anyone in her audience.
Anyone?
You hear the background noises here?
Yes, I can hear it.
Well, you don't hear anything when Mata Hari dances, except her unusual Eastern music.
Eastern? As in Far East?
No, it's more like Middle Eastern. It's hard to explain. You have to hear it for yourself.
Oh? Oh?
Where did Mikhailov go?
How would I know, Officer Wallace? To his hotel, perhaps.
Why do you think he left like that, in such a hurry?
You're asking the wrong person.
My goodness. The way Mata Hari was looking at me. As if I offended her just by being here. And they both disappeared so fast. I know it's late, but I need to report my findings to Chief Morrison.
You better have a good reason for bringing me here this late. I only have a little time. Continue.
Yo, all of them.
Kati Stavropoulos told me that Bogdanov was cared for by his late grandparents during his childhood. Apparently, he loved them deeply. According to Kati, Bogdanov was very fortunate that he did not develop neurotic behavior during this period, in absence of any qualified care. Fabian had no idea that Bogdanov was a recent immigrant from Russia. He never even noticed anything peculiar about Bogdanov's accent. He believes that many middle-aged people here in the Union have peculiar accents, because English is not their mother tongue.
So, what's your point? Am I missing something?
No, Chief. I just thought...
Just stick to the case, please.
Yes, Chief. Sophia Capello told me that Bogdanov used to spend a good deal of time at the gym. Although Capello only had 2 sessions with Bogdanov, her impression was that he was really struggling with his physical appearance. Apparently, Bogdanov liked hanging out at expensive places, and he rapidly developed expensive tastes, such as having therapy sessions with Capello. She indicated that Bogdanov liked a place called the Stardust a lot, a chic club in the Pyramid.
Very impressive facts and information, Phoenix. Well done. I think you need to check out this club.
Thank you, Chief.
Honey.
Will do. Larissa Lukin revealed to me that Bogdanov had fond memories of his late biological grandparents. Apparently, they used to take care of him when he was a child. I suppose that's why he longed for his past there. Both Larissa Lukin and Kati Stavropoulos confirm that Bogdanov had a strong bond with his late biological grandparents.
So, it's normal for a man who was raised in the Rogue States to have that kind of connection to his biological relatives, whether they are parents or grandparents.
Lord.
What are you getting at?
Well, I just remembered that Bogdanov had a 2D photo album at his office, and in it there was a picture of an older couple and a little boy. I wonder if it was Bogdanov and his grandparents in that photo.
What's the point, Phoenix? Stop babbling. I want to talk to you about the Stardust Club. You mention it in all of your reports, but there is nothing but gossip. If you cannot obtain any useful information from this place, I suggest you drop it.
Speaking of Stardust, Fabian told me about a Mata Hari. Apparently, she's the main attraction at the Stardust Club. Fabian claims that this Mata Hari can captivate anyone in her audience, and she dances to some exotic Middle Eastern music.
Phoenix, what did I just tell you? What is the relevance? Is there something I'm missing?
But she was sitting right next to Mikhailov, Bogdanov's buddy, and when they noticed me watching them, they abruptly stood up and departed in separate directions.
Are you sure they left because of you?
I am positive. Mata Hari gave me a stern look right before she stood up.
Why do you think your scrutiny caused them to leave?
I don't know, but I sure want to find out. I have nothing further to mention at this time. Ugh, Julio, that dumbass.
Gladys said that she'll call when Mr. Arnett is available. No, I don't think I need to talk to Larissa.
Hi, Piper.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you so soon.
So, you must meet a lot of men here at the Thing store.
I meet my fair share, but I don't kiss and tell.
Well, I wasn't asking for the intimate details of your sex life.
Then where is this conversation going?
I'm just curious about your customer profile, that's all.
I have male and female customers.
Do your company rules allow you to flirt with your customers?
I don't know. Who's gonna stop me from flirting?
How about that lady over there, lurking on the floor?
Which lady? The new supervisor? She doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground.
Did you know Mr. Bogdanov was a recent immigrant?
Oh, so that's why he talked funny and wore those ill-fitting clothes.
I suppose. He immigrated from Russia 3 years ago. Didn't you know?
No, I didn't. I never would have thought I would work for someone from a rogue state.
There are many immigrants in this town, you know. Adrianopolis is a border city.
I guess I never gave him a second thought. Oh well.
Is this a good place to pick up guys?
I refuse to answer that question. It certainly isn't a part of the investigation.
Lighten up, young lady. I'm just curious about your customer profile, that's all.
Don't even think about checking out the men on this floor. This is my territory, Ms. Curiosity.
No need to be so possessive. I suppose your company rules allow you to flirt with your customers?
They've never tried to stop me before.
There's a first time for everything, honey. A new supervisor may change the way you behave on the floor.
What, the new supervisor? She doesn't know.
Do you think Mr. If you work full-time, how do you have a chance for quality love encounters?
Who are you? My relationship consultant at the college? I don't have to answer any question like that.
Look, I'm just trying to get to know you better. You'll have an easier time answering my questions if you feel relaxed with me.
Well, in that case, I'll answer your question. Meeting desirable men is no problem, because the store is always full of them, and I make time for my love interests when I'm finished working.
How about the guys at school?
Honey, once you get the taste of the men around here, schoolboys just don't cut it.
When was the last time Mr. Bogdanov went to Russia?
Went to Russia? How the heck would I know?
Come on. He might have mentioned a trip or something.
Can't say that I recall any mention of Russia. However, now that I think about it, some of his Russian buddies might have stopped in here before.
Why do you think they were Russian?
Oh, you know, the way they talked funny, and again, those ill-fitting suits, and of course, those penetrating stares. I felt like they were undressing me with their eyes.
So, what would Mr. Bogdanov do with his buddies?
He would have such a visitor, say once or twice a month. He always took the individual upstairs to his office and closed the door. But I didn't think anything of it, because he was so weird anyway.
Did Mr. Bogdanov have any enemies?
Yeah, I suppose Ms. Taylor was one of his enemies.
Ms. Taylor. Tell me more about Ms. Taylor.
She's our cleaning woman. She couldn't stand Mr. B, because he left a mess everywhere.
Oh, I was thinking of somebody a bit more threatening. Somebody who was angry enough to kill Mr. Bogdanov.
You mean the gossip isn't true? They really didn't kill him for his flesh?
No, young lady. He was not killed for his flesh or his internal organs, okay?
Oh, I gotta go now.
Piper, I need to leave at once. There's an urgent matter.
Suit yourself. You know where to find me.
Bye for now. I will come back soon.
Bye.
Darn. Interrupted again. These foreign visitors of Bogdanov's. It's not very typical for a recent immigrant to receive visitors like that. I wonder what they were up to.
Hi, Ingrid.
Hello, Phoenix. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Very good.
What physical shape are the recent immigration applicants in?
They're weaker than usual. I suppose the standard of nutrition significantly dropped in the road states in recent years.
Are they responding well to the accelerated nutrition program?
Most do. But I don't know how far the program will get them. These people have been subject to malnutrition for so long. It's difficult to estimate whether or not the ANP will get them into good enough condition in order to pass their physical exams.
I need to get going.
That must be Ms. Shaw.
Hello, Ms. Shaw. My name is Phoenix Wallace. I'm a senior peace officer here at the center. I will be conducting your security screening interview. Did I say your name right?
You did, Officer Wallace.
Okay, good. Now, I'm going to give you a small brief about the procedure.
Please.
You are here today because you passed all necessary tests required for you to become a World Union citizen.
Uh-huh.
And I am here to evaluate your citizenship application from a security perspective.
Yes, I will try to be as helpful as possible, Officer Wallace.
Oh, thank you very much. Shall we start?
Certainly.
Can you tell me anything about your biological family?
No, not really. I was found abandoned when I was 3.
Just like me.
Excuse me?
I was an abandoned child, too.
Really? Where?
Here, in Adrianopolis.
Don't tell me it was during the Eastern Bloodbath.
It was. How come you know about the bloodbath?
At the academy, of course, during one of the regional history classes.
Oh, all right. Tell me about conditions in India.
What can I say? Pain, suffering, and hunger, crime, all over the place.
And you've seen it all?
I've lived it all. There were so many nights in my life that I didn't have food before going to sleep or any proper shelter.
I just cannot picture that.
Well, I survived it all. As an old great philosopher once said, anything that doesn't kill you will make you stronger.
He was certainly right. What does science mean to you?
Are you asking about scientific living?
Spot on.
I didn't get a lot of chance to live scientifically in the past, but I am determined to change that.
What do you mean by you didn't live scientifically?
I mean, I made many mistakes all my life, made decisions that had nothing to do with science, suffered so much, and at this end of the road for me, I am tired.
We all make mistakes, but do you have an urge for living in an unscientific way?
No, I don't. I can imagine myself eating so little, doing no exercise at all. No, those days are over for good.
How about economic favoritism?
Officer Wallace, I suffered all of my life. Never had enough economical power to abuse it in that way. I always had to settle for little, but not anymore. I came this far. I'm going to make it.
Your dedication is admirable.
Thank you.
What about nuptial agreements?
Never had an opportunity to get close to a man like that.
No social pressure?
When you have no biological family in India, nobody cares about you.
What was the best part of the Immigration Academy?
I actually enjoyed all of my classes.
You did? That's quite unusual.
Really, I liked my instructors too.
Who was your favorite?
Miss Evangelista. I was the best in her class
Why was she your favorite?
because she was very good at what she was doing, and I really respect that.
What was the single most important thing that you learned in the academy?
That there was respectable ways to make money.
How did you make money before?
I did bad things, mostly hacking.
Hacking? As in computers?
Yes, I had to do something, officer. I was so tired of drifting from place to place. There was no other way to accumulate all that money.
How did you find hacking jobs?
Through the internet, most of my customers never met me.
And you never used your real name, right?
Never. I was known as the Ghost.
Why did you really decide to immigrate to the World Union?
For a peaceful, better life, of course.
Any other motives?
I am a really tired person, Officer Wallace. And all I need is some peace and comfort.
Life in the Union can be very demanding. Do you possess enough motivation to survive here? Your exhaustion can be a problem.
I am a survivor officer and a hard worker. I am also very skilled in the computer field. I am sure I will add to the Union society, not take.
You're a loner. I'm worried that you may find it difficult to adjust to the social intercourse here in the Union.
My advisor in the academy had similar concerns, but I was able to convince her otherwise.
Would you be willing to get psychiatric help if necessary?
Why would I need such a thing? I learned about all rules of etiquette.
Well, learning rules is one thing, applying them another. You may experience difficulties.
Well, I would consider it if necessary.
Do you believe you need psychiatric help to fit in the Union?
Well, I am not sure, but I would certainly get help if I need it.
I need an answer. Do you think you need it or not?
I think I do.
Yes,
Oh, see?
that is what I
Yeah.
think too.
Does this mean I failed the test?
No, it does not. Not yet. I believe you were a complete social outcast.
No, I was not. I had to stay away to survive.
Don't lie to me, Rana. The devices show it when you lie. I think you will have a very difficult time fitting in the Union society.
I doubt that, Officer Wallace.
You lived alone all your life. How can you socially fit in? You need to engage in social intercourse to stay clear of any neurosis.
I am not neurotic. And you know that.
Not yet. And I'm not sure how you are not neurotic after all you've been through.
As I said, yoga can do wonders.
You're lying.
Why should I lie?
To hide the truth, of course.
What truth?
Your true motive to come here. You claim you have degrees, but cannot verify any schooling. You did not bring any documents. But you create miracles with computers.
All of my records were lost. I was a hacker.
Even that we cannot verify. You claim your nickname on the net was The Ghost. I checked our criminal files about internet. Nobody ever heard of The Ghost. But everybody knows about The Mirage.
The what? Oh,
I know a lot about computer-related crimes. I even made profiles for hackers such as you. You know what? The profile of this notorious hacker called Mirage fits you perfectly.
no.
Rana Shaw, or whatever your real name is. Are you the Mirage?
No, I am not.
I can see when you lie. There's no point in lying. Admit who you are.
Yes, I am the Mirage.
Okay, Mirage. What is your real purpose for immigrating? Is this part of a plot against our system?
No, I repented my hacker's days.
You are most certainly lying. I have enough about you, Mirage. You are most certainly a threat to the World Union Society. I formally declare that you failed the security screening. You will be arrested and sent to one of our rehab centers as suggested in Article 10 of our Constitution. After your treatment there, you will be permanently deported from the World Union and never will be allowed back here again. You are a sick person and terrorist. After your treatment, you will be turned over to the Indian government. I believe a jail sentence is waiting for you there. Although I find jailing a barbaric tactic, you are one of the few who really deserve it. Goodbye, Mirage.
My word, Mirage. Never thought I would come face to face with one of those cyber terrorists. I don't want to deal with more of her sassy attitude today. These people must be Bogdanov's grandparents. Could the little boy in the middle be Vasily? It looks like a text, I suppose. Handwritten? Maybe it is in Russian and left over from his days there. And a 7-digit number at the bottom. I should capture these, just in case. I don't need... Nope. I don't need to use...
Hello, Fabian. It's me again.
Oh, welcome back, Officer Wallace.
Who is Matahari?
I already told you who she is. She is our famed dancer.
No, I mean, who is she really?
To my knowledge, Matahari is her stage name, as you already guessed.
Do you know her real name?
No, I don't think anybody does.
Come on, she probably has some contract with this place. Doesn't anyone in the management know her name?
No, she goes by Matahari and everybody loves it.
What do you mean, everybody loves it?
You know, everybody loves the mysteriousness of her name. When clients watch Matahari for the first time, they all want to know her real name.
Why is that?
Because they instantly fall in love with her. They are enraptured by her.
I thought the clients were predominantly devotees. I don't think those people can be enraptured by anything at first sight.
I think you'll change your mind about that after seeing Matahari in action.
Did Mr. Bogdanov's physical appearance affect the way he associated with women?
Well, I have to admit Mr. Bogdanov was not in the best shape, but it shouldn't have mattered for a man with his qualities.
What qualities are we talking about here?
First of all, he knew how to handle people. Trust me, Officer Wallace, I can tell when a man has exemplary communication skills.
You believe he was a great communicator?
Believe me, it's not just me. Everybody in this joint thought the same way.
Including Matahari?
I wouldn't know that, of course. She isn't one to share her feelings.
Do you think Bogdanov liked Matahari?
Of course he did. He was infatuated with her just like everyone else.
Did you ever see him around other women?
No, come to think of it. But then again, you don't see many women in this club. The club doesn't offer much for their pleasure.
But if your club is full of men, why wouldn't women find pleasure here?
Officer Wallace, you have to understand that our regulars have been around the block and seen it all. They do not have anything left to prove. As far as women are concerned, often women come here in groups, and they are never able to attract the attention of men. When these women see the shows, I think they feel a little intimidated. Then they leave and never come back.
So, how can you explain their undivided interest in Matahari?
I simply can't. I don't think they can either, which intrigues them even more.
Thanks for the information. I shouldn't take more of your time today, but I might come back with more questions later.
Certainly, Officer Wallace.
Matahari. What a strange woman. I've heard enough about her for tonight.
Hi, Piper.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you so soon.
Did you think Mr. Bogdanov had a problem fitting in?
What do you mean? Fitting in the elevator?
No, you smart aleck. Socially fitting in the World Union. Remember, he was a recent immigrant?
In that case, yes. He stuck out like a sore thumb. And now, I know the reason.
Can you elaborate how he had a so-called fitting-in problem?
He was just a total geek. Dull, unsophisticated, and furthermore, unattractive. In my book, 3 strikes and you're out.
Ooh, aren't we harsh today?
You asked the question, you wanted the answer, Ms. Wallace.
Do you think Mr. Bogdanov's business was going well?
Yeah, he seemed to be rolling in the dough.
What makes you say that?
Recently, Mr. B had a newly developed tendency to brag about the places he went.
Recently? When?
Can't be specific, but let's just say that during the last 2 months, he has become arrogant and suddenly very confident.
You also mentioned places he bragged about.
Yeah, he was always dropping names about the fancy restaurants where he dined, or the clubs where he hung out here in the pyramid, like the Stardust, La Tita.
You think these were signs of a successful business?
Sure. How could the signs be any clearer?
Do you think Mr. Bogdanov was happy in the Union?
He appeared happy to me.
Can you be more specific, Ms. Piper?
Well, what I mean to say is that he smiled and he laughed, and he told his stupid jokes. So yes, he seemed happy, Ms. Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. Your first name is Piper, isn't it? Where did you get a name like Piper, anyhow?
You're the detective, Ms. Wallace. Your guess is as good as mine.
To your knowledge, was Mr. Bogdanov involved in any other business ventures?
He kept mentioning some art consultancy deal with some artist guy.
Do you know if this art consultancy was going well?
That's what he kept saying. His newly acquired status wasn't from the thing store sales, that's for sure.
How can you be so sure?
'Cause I am a sales clerk, and I know our sales curve has been very flat in the last quarter.
You don't sound convinced about this art consultancy deal.
What can I say? Mr. B didn't seem to have a background in art at all. He certainly wasn't the artsy-fartsy type.
So, let's hear your theory about his sudden wealth.
My theory? I think there was something fishy going on. I saw one of his foreign buddies bring in some stuff that we never displayed in the store. The boxes were taken straight up to his office.
What do you think was in those boxes?
Don't ask me. We weren't told anything about those boxes, and we were never welcomed in Mr. B's office in the upper level. Unless, of course, we were willing to...
Willing to what?
Never mind.
Tell me what you do know about those boxes.
I have no idea what was inside those boxes, but I overheard something about customers renting their contents.
And which customers are you referring to?
The ones he would take up to his office, and later he would tell us that he had just made some big art consultancy deal. Ha! My foot! He was lying through his teeth.
I think I have all I need from you. You've been a great help, Piper. Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye!
Finally, I was able to get some useful information from somebody at the thing store. I think it's time to report my findings to Chief Morrison.
I have some important facts to discuss, Chief. Piper Darlington told me that Bogdanov's newly acquired wealth couldn't have been from Thing Store sales. She insists that the sales curve of the store had been flat in the last quarter. Moreover, Piper isn't convinced about Bogdanov's art consultancy business at all.
Is that right? So, does Miss Piper have a theory about Bogdanov's wealth?
As a matter of fact, she does. Piper claims that Bogdanov's art consultancy can be a cover for something else.
Such as?
Evidently, some of Bogdanov's foreign buddies had brought some merchandise to the store. This merchandise was never displayed. Apparently, these boxes were taken straight up to Bogdanov's office.
Does Piper know what was inside those boxes?
No, she doesn't. However, she overheard something about certain customers renting the contents of these boxes.
Which certain customers?
I don't know yet. Evidently, after taking these customers up to his office, Bogdanov would later tell everyone that he had just made a big art consultancy deal. However, Piper thinks he was lying about these deals.
Do you think he was lying?
Perhaps he was. I should visit the Thing Store's headquarters at the business district and check the store's rental figures.
Keep me posted on what you find out. I only have a little time. Continue.
Fabian claims that nobody knows Mata Hari's real name. What a weird choice for a stage name. Anyhow, apparently all the devotees at the club were enraptured by the sight of her. Quite hard to fathom.
Mata Hari was the stage name of a very famous exotic dancer in the early 20th century. She was actually a spy and was eventually executed. A strange choice for a stage name indeed.
Is that right? I wonder if this Mata Hari is a spy as well. Piper Darlington claims that Bogdanov had been consistently receiving visitors from Russia. He would have such a visitor once or twice a month. Apparently, Bogdanov always took the individual upstairs to his office and closed the door.
How does she know these people were Russian?
Piper claims that these visitors resembled Bogdanov in the way they talked and dressed. She also mentioned something about their penetrating stares. She felt as if they were undressing her with their eyes.
Penetrating stares, huh? That's an easy way of differentiating between a union man and a rogue stater.
Are you serious, Chief?
Do I look like I'm not? I wonder who these men were, and why they were visiting Bogdanov on a consistent basis.
I don't know yet, but I'll find out. I have nothing further to mention at this. PA, add Thing Store chain headquarters at Adrianopolis Business District to my navigation map. Their slogans are so vivid and powerful. Hey, it only takes 3 numbers. Must be broken. Hey, it only takes 3 numbers. Must be broken. Hey. 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 Hey.
Amnesty Global aims to help the rogue state citizens who are mistreated by their own brutal governments. The studies of Derek Fisher and his followers have clearly proven that all criminals have psychological imbalances that can be cured, and furthermore, imprisonment usually aggravates those imbalances. That's the leading environmental society of the world. They predominantly operate within the rogue states.
Wow, towering buildings. This entire district was built during the city's renovation in the 2030s. Wow.
The Things Chain headquarters.
Hi, I'm Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center.
Hello, Officer Wallace. My name is Rika. How can I help you today?
Hi, Rika. I need information regarding one of your franchises.
And which franchise are you referring to, Officer Wallace?
The Thing Store here at the Pyramid.
Okay, just one moment. Our Public Relations Officer, Mr. Richard A. Ackerman, will be pleased to speak with you.
Thank you. And how can I find Mr. Ackerman?
His office is on the 3rd floor. Please take the elevator up, and his office is on the 2nd door to your right.
Thank you very much for your help. Hello, Mr. Ackerman. I'm Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center.
Welcome, Officer Wallace. How can I help you today?
I'm investigating the murder of Mr. Vasily Bogdanov, and I have a few questions for you.
Sure. Anything to help. What a tragic incident.
Can you tell me about the things that were rented from your Adrianopolis store in the last 2 months?
Sure. But there isn't much to tell because we have no rental policies.
So, your franchises can never rent the things in their stores?
Never. We only have sales and leasing policies.
Are you sure?
Of course. It's all written in our company rules book.
Thank you.
What?
I'm sorry, but I have to leave now.
Sure, as you wish.
Thanks for all your help.
Anytime, Officer Wallace.
No rental policy at the Thing Store. Now, what might Mr. Bogdanov be renting out to these affluent customers? And why behind closed doors?
I doubt that he can help me any further. I don't need to talk to her anymore.
No. Glad. I am in a restricted area. I shouldn't bother the engineers in there. They're very busy. I am...
Hello, Julius.
Hi, Phoenix.
I have a question for you, Julius. How long have you been here at the Academy?
Oh, 50 years.
50 years? The Academy wasn't even here 50 years ago. How old are you, anyhow?
I am 150 years old. No, 1,500 years old. I have been everywhere, endured every pain. In a span of 7 days, I lived through the hell on earth. I have seen Siamese twins choking each other, little children dying of starvation, packs of cannibalistic humanoid animals hunting, big rats attacking newborns. I have seen it all. Pain, hunger, death. I have witnessed humans turning into wolves. I am 1,500 years old. I am the oldest man on Earth.
I knew I shouldn't have asked it. Humans turning into wolves. Is this a werewolf story?
We are all werewolves. Don't you know?
We're all werewolves. No, Julius. We are human beings, civilized human beings.
It is inside us, hiding, waiting. We are all werewolves.
What is inside us?
The urge, instinct, to become a wolf again. It is inside us.
Julius, you need to get rid of these ancient tall tales and stick to positive thinking. No wonder you're failing all your classes at the academy.
The instructors do not understand me. I know everything. I am 1,500 years old.
I really don't understand why Julius is always around and never sent back after being rejected.
Many of these books are left from the glory times of the great religions. Poor people. They didn't even have the right to choose their religion. Whereas now, people can choose the religion they want from thousands of New Age religion kits. There are many books here that are handwritten. In ancient times, people had to teach their kids to write by hand. It's so hard to believe. Wow, look at all those dusty books. I wonder if I can find anything useful here to translate that handwritten scribble. That looks like an ancient dictionary. I should capture this image. Maybe I can use it to decipher the text I found behind Bogdanov's photo.
Oh.
It's a name list, but who are these people? I don't need to. That's not. I don't need. I don't. I think it's time to report my findings to.
I have some important facts to discuss, Chief. As I was looking through a 2D photo album of Bogdanov's, I found this handwritten scribble behind one of the pictures. I managed to translate the scribbles, and they revealed a list of names.
A list of what names?
I didn't recognize any of them, Chief. Should I check them out?
No, it's probably just a list of his friends in Russia.
But some of the names appear to be World Union names, rather than Russian.
So what? We cannot access personal information of our citizens in absence of a proven link to our case.
I see your point, Chief. Chief, Bogdanov's scribble also contains a 7-digit number. I have no idea what it means.
What is it?
3865959.
That could be a military service number. Check it out in the GPS and military databases using your network node. I'll also get Julio to do some research, just in case.
Will do, Chief.
PA, upload Phoenix Wallace, access for the GPS and military databases.
A captain in the military? What the heck?
PA, add Adrianopolis GPSN military area to my navigation map.
It's closed. I'm certain she already made plans for tonight. I don't need to talk.
Hi, Sandra.
This is a secure door. Only the guard can open it. This guard looks like he's in charge here.
Hello. I'm Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center. I'm here to see Captain Juan Antonio Perez.
And what is this regarding, ma'am?
Official peace and security business.
Okay. First, you need to contact the personnel office. They can direct you to Captain Perez.
Thank you. And how do I find the personnel office?
I will arrange for someone to take you there. Please follow me. Officer Wallace from the Peace and Security Division. Please escort her to the personnel office.
That looks like an organization map.
The Articles of our Constitution, the final Bill of Rights. That HDI is quite normal for a corporal in the armed forces. Her name appears to be Aisling Monahan.
Corporal Aisling Monahan?
Yes, and who's asking?
Hi. I'm Senior Officer Phoenix Wallace from the Adrianopolis Peace and Security Center.
Hi, Officer Wallace. What can I do for you?
I'm here in an official capacity. I need to find Captain Juan Antonio Perez, service number 3865959.
And what type of official business are you conducting about Captain Perez?
It is regarding a murder case, Corporal.
A murder case? Who's been murdered?
A Union citizen by the name of Vasily Bogdanov was murdered, and I'm conducting the investigation.
A Union citizen? Murdered? When? Where?
In Odessa, Russia, on April 6th. I must inform you that the case has been ordered confidential by a judge.
Oh, I understand. And may I ask what Captain Perez has to do with this investigation?
I'm not sure yet, but I was hoping that he would be able to provide some answers regarding my case.
Unfortunately, Captain Perez cannot answer any of your questions.
And why is that? Has he been reassigned?
No. I regret to inform you that Captain Perez died on the night of April 1st.
He died? Are we talking about the same man here? Captain Juan Antonio Perez, with a service number of
3865959. Yes, I'm afraid so.
Officer Monahan, can you tell me how Captain Perez died?
In a plane crash while on duty.
Oh, how tragic. But how?
He was flying a military cargo plane, and it crashed into the side of a mountain.
My goodness. I thought this kind of tragedy only happened on television shows.
I'm afraid this accident was very real.
But I haven't heard anything on the news about this.
As is your case, Officer Wallace. This case is classified too.
I understand. So, Corporal, where exactly did the accident happen?
I am not allowed to discuss any details of this case without authorization from my superior officers. I am sorry.
I see. So you haven't been told either.
I have to admit, many facts of this case were not disclosed to me, but some of them were.
And can you explain to me what's wrong with sharing facts with a fellow officer from the GPSN? Let me remind you that this investigation concerns the murder of a Union citizen.
I suppose you have a point, Officer Wallace. We're all working for the same cause, to protect our mighty Union.
So where did his plane crash?
It crashed in Rogue State territory. The remains of the plane were found on a mountainside somewhere in Russia. I do not know the exact location.
Did you know Captain Perez personally?
No, I did not.
How long had he been stationed here, in Adrianopolis?
I'm afraid that information is classified.
How about his personal interests? The places he used to hang out?
Officer Wallace, I have no information about his personal life at all.
Isn't there anyone who can tell me about this man?
As a matter of fact, there is.
Who is it? Please tell me.
You may want to talk to the First Lieutenant Ulrika Thorson.
And who may that be? His former co-worker?
No. Officers Perez and Thorson were sexual partners.
Oh. How can I get in touch with Officer Thorson?
She's commissioned here at the base. You can find her office in Logistics Wing.
Thank you for your assistance, Corporal Monahan. You've been very helpful.
And good luck to you with your investigation, Officer Wallace.
I'm still lost. There's no one to ask my way around here. Weird. Maybe this kiosk will help. It's a fire extinguisher. It's a fire exit chart. I can't waste my time on a fire chart. I need to find First Lieutenant Thorson. Maybe First Lieutenant Thorson has something to do with the fire code here. Wow, Thorson is one of the fire marshals. I should be able to find her room now.
May I help you?
I'm Senior Peace Officer Phoenix Wallace, from the Peace Center here in Adrianopolis.
How can I help you, Officer Wallace?
I need to speak with you regarding your late sexual partner, Captain Juan Antonio Perez. How long were you partners with Captain Perez?
Our relationship started almost 6 months ago. Then it was ended, abruptly.
I'm really sorry for your loss, Officer Thorson.
Thank you. But life continues and, as they used to say, the show must go on.
Well put, Officer Thorson. Your dedication is admirable.
Thank you for your kind words. But I am just trying to fulfill my duty to the best of my ability.
What can you tell me about your relationship with him?
It was a relationship based on love and respect. But wait a minute. Why are you asking me all these questions?
I'm working on a murder case, and Captain Perez's name came up during my investigation.
A murder case? What murder case?
A Union citizen named Vasily Bogdanov was murdered in Odessa, Russia.
Murdered in Odessa? I didn't know one of our citizens was murdered there.
The case is being kept confidential until further investigation is made.
I see. And what does Antonio have to do with this murder?
His name was on a list of Mr. Bogdanov's.
What kind of list?
I'm still working on that.
When did this murder happen, anyway?
On April 6th.
Antonio was already dead by then.
Yes, I know. So, tell me, Officer Thorson, was Captain Perez interested in art?
In art? Are you sure this is related to your investigation?
Yes, it is.
Well, let me tell you. Antonio was not an art enthusiast.
Are you sure, Officer Thorson?
Of course. He couldn't identify a Picasso, even if it was right before his eyes.
I see. So he didn't mention any art interests to you recently?
No. Antonio and I only had limited time together, so we usually focused on other, more immediate needs.
Physical needs?
Exactly.
Did Captain Perez ever mention going to the Thing Store?
What store?
The Thing Store, down at the Pyramid.
I am sorry, Officer Wallace, but we have a very busy schedule at this base. We rarely have time to browse the Pyramid.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. There are great stores at the Pyramid, and the Thing Store happens to be one of my favorites.
And what do they sell in these Thing stores?
Oh, all kinds of original decorative ornaments.
What did you say the name of the store was?
The Thing Store.
I remember Antonio talking about a Thing store, but I never thought Thing was actually the name of the store.
It is, and I suggest you check it out sometime.
I will try to remember to do that, Officer Wallace.
I have an urgent call from my headquarters First Lieutenant Thorson. Can we continue at another time?
Certainly, Officer Wallace. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Julio finally came up with some useful information. Right, Julio?
Yes, Chief.
We're all ears. Julio?
Oh, yes. This Bogdanov fellow.
Please, a little respect. Addressing a deceased person.
Sure. Mr. Bogdanov arrived to the Union 3 years ago.
Okay, we already know that. Tell us something new, Julio.
He brought more than $1.3 million with him.
Wow.
An impressive amount. I wonder where he got it from.
I have more gossipy stuff, too.
Excuse me, what kind of stuff?
Just that he immigrated with his nuptial partner. In Russia, of course.
And what was her name?
Larissa Lukin. His primary sexual partner was his former nuptial partner.
No way.
I suppose Miss Lukin never mentioned this to you, Phoenix?
No, she did not.
Very well. What else, Julio?
Yes. There's this stuff about his finances.
What about his finances?
He made a lot of money over the last 2 months. And then bang!
What does bang mean, Julio?
Oh, he withdrew it all on April 6th.
What did he do with it?
He took a banker's check.
Curious. Why would he want to do that? Anything else?
Not really. I uploaded all the details to your PAs.
Thank you, Julio. Your timing was somewhat late, but nevertheless. Let me add that we have an autopsy report for Mr. Bogdanov. He was murdered by a 9mm firearm. 9mm is a typical bullet size for a handgun in the rogue states.
Ouch. That would hurt.
Yes, Julio, we know. Julio, you are dismissed. I had a look at Bogdanov's financial information. and I found it to be very interesting. I suggest you take a close look at it.
Sure, Chief, provided that Julio uploaded it to my PA.
I'm sure he did. He may not be as smart as you are, but he's definitely very ambitious. He sees this case as an important stepping stone for his future, and so should you.
Yes, Chief. Of course I do.
You need to be more convincing than that. So far, your progress in this case has been average. I suggest you focus better, or else you may lose your status as my lead investigative officer.
I understand, Chief.
Good. I also noticed Melvin Philip Spencer's name in Bogdanov's bank records. What do you make of that?
Oh, the man that died using the illegal device. I don't know, but I can investigate.
Do that. But don't spend too much time on it. That case is being handled by our headquarters, and I don't want you to step on anybody's toes.
Sure, Chief. I'll be careful.
I'll get Spencer's autopsy report sent to you. One more thing. After you carefully examine Bogdanov's finances, ask Pierre DeVille's opinion. I bet he'll make some interesting remarks.
Pierre DeVille? All right.
In the meantime, I believe you have certain questions to ask Ms. Lukin.
PA, access GPSN census database and add Melvin Spencer's address to my navigation map. But I better pay a visit to Larissa first. She's been hiding stuff from me. Hi, Larissa.
Oh, hi again, dear. Sit down.
Thank you. How are you today?
Oh, I'm a little better. How is the investigation going?
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Oh, did you find out who the murderer is?
Not yet, but there are some issues that make me concerned.
Oh, is there anything I can do to help?
Larissa, I am totally disappointed with you.
Phoenix, why, dear?
Because you have been lying to me about your past.
Oh, now hui.
You lied to me about your history with Mr. Bogdanov, and I want to know why.
I was scared.
Of what?
You know, nuptial agreement. Not acceptable. We decided to keep it a secret.
Come on. You don't expect me to believe that. I want the truth this time, not any petty excuses.
I was scared. Really scared.
Of what?
The Gambinos.
What did you say you're scared of?
The Gambinos.
Who are the Gambinos?
They are the scariest people of Russia.
What do they do?
They are the biggest Russian mafia.
Why are you scared of the Gambinos?
Because Vasily used to be one of them.
You must be joking.
Unfortunately not.
Was Mr. Bogdanov still linked with the Gambinos while he was living in the Union?
Surely not. He stole money from them so that we could come here.
I wonder how he got away with it.
Vasily was a very clever and trusted man. He is not one of the notorious. They trusted him with the money.
So he stole from them to come to the Union?
Yes. He told me he cannot take it anymore, so we made a plan.
Why are you scared of them now? Is it possible that they are linked to the murder?
Oh, I don't know. They do have a reason.
Indeed, they do. Larissa, lying to a GPSN employee is a serious offense. You should know better.
I know, Phoenix. I told you I was not emotionally fit to behave politically correct.
I suppose you did, but you must never do it again. Understood?
Promise, my dear.
I have other things to get done today, but I'll be back.
So Bogdanov used to be a Gambino crime family member. So hard to believe. Yet Larissa sounded convincing enough for a change. I know it's late, but
I need to report my findings to Chief Morrison.
You better have a good reason for bringing me here this late.
Larissa Lukin claims that Vasily Bogdanov used to be a member of the Gambino crime family of Russia.
You don't say? Mr. Bogdanov must have been a graduate of the Randy Hamilton School of Security.
I beg your pardon, Chief. Are you talking about Senior Officer Randy Hamilton, my predecessor? I didn't know he owned a school for security training.
Of course he didn't. I was being sarcastic. When I started my tenure here 5 years ago, Randy was the only security screening interviewer. Later we learned that many of the novices he had interviewed and approved were convicted of serious crimes committed once they were living in the Union. I immediately suspended and eventually fired him when I had gathered enough scientific evidence.
Oh, I didn't know that. Was he that bad of an interviewer?
Yes, and he was a terrible judge of character. I think he believed that everybody had a right to live in the Union. I even had to take over the interviews myself, until I commissioned you and a few others.
I see.
Phoenix, I want you to pretend that you know nothing about the shortcomings of Randy Hamilton. Maybe our Ms. Lukin has more skeletons to offer us from her closet.
Evidently, Larissa Lukin told me that Bogdanov had been a Gambino accountant, and that he was never a part of any duty involving violence. She insists that Bogdanov hated being part of a crime family, and so he took the risk of stealing money in order to immigrate here.
A Gambino accountant on the run? They certainly have a reason to fry his ass.
Excuse me, Chief?
I said the Gambinos have a very good reason to have had this man killed. Don't you agree?
I certainly do, Chief.
Maybe some of Bogdanov's buddies that Piper mentioned to you were actually Gambino crime family members.
Oh, come on, Chief. How could that be? Our border controls would definitely have caught them.
Are you sure? Don't forget about the Randy Hamilton School of Security. There are several documented cases of rogue staters who have outsmarted our border security professionals.
I suppose you have a point there, but I think it's very unlikely.
I only have a little time. Continue.
You were right about Bogdanov's 7-digit number, Chief. It belonged to a Captain Juan Antonio Perez of the GPSN military.
So, did you find this Captain Perez? Does he have anything to do with Bogdanov?
I can't tell yet, Chief. And unfortunately, Captain Perez isn't around to answer my questions either. He's dead.
What? How did he die?
He died in a plane crash over Russian soil. The details of the accident are being kept confidential.
Who's your contact there?
I talked to the Personnel Officer Corporal Monahan and First Lieutenant Thorson, who happened to be Perez's sexual partner. First Lieutenant Thorson and Captain Perez had been sexual partners during the previous 6 months. Chief, I would like to have a financial audit warrant for Larissa Lukin.
Larissa Lukin? For what reason?
You know that she lied to me once, and I think she might be hiding something about her finances.
Such as?
You know, altruism is a very common crime among recent immigrants. They just cannot let go of their old habits. Larissa has lied to me about her past. Maybe the real reason behind her lies is to hide the fact that she is still receiving illegal personal donations from Bogdanov.
Did you see any proof of that in Bogdanov's financial records?
I'm not sure, Chief.
What do you mean you're not sure? Your request is denied. You'd better be sure about things before you ask me for any warrants. Understood?
Yes, Chief. I have nothing further to mention at this.
Oh my word. Look at all that money Bogdanov made. A woman named Lena Vanderbilt paid him hundreds of thousands of dollars in a matter of weeks. Melvin Spencer's name is on the list, too. Didn't he die while using an illegal device recently? Anyhow, and those other names, they all look familiar. Look at that. He was throwing away his money all over the place. A banker's check for millions of dollars? I wonder whose dirty hands are on those funds now.
PA, access GPSN census database and add Lena Vanderbilt's address to my navigation map.
I have arrangements made for the evening. What should I wear? I need to get going, or else I'm going to be late for my meeting with Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, dear.
The leads in the Bogdanov case are taking me all over the city. I even went to Station Delta 10.
Station Delta 10? That's a military area. What did they have to do with Bogdanov?
You see, the handwritten scribble from Bogdanov that I found included a military service number, which belonged to a Captain Juan Antonio Perez.
So what's the connection?
Well, coincidentally, this Captain Perez was killed in a plane crash recently.
What? What plane crash?
It happened over Russian territory. Evidently, most of the facts about the accident were never revealed to the public.
Who told you all this?
I spoke to Corporal Monahan and First Lieutenant Thorson, and the lieutenant used to be Captain Perez's sexual partner. You're not gonna believe how much money Bogdanov made in the last month.
A dime and a nickel?
No, he made over $1 million.
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. And guess who was one of his customers?
Who, me?
Don't be a clown, Sandra. Melvin Spencer. His name was on Bogdanov's bank records, along with many others.
Melvin Spencer. As in the dead history professor? No shit.
That's right. Go figure. What's the connection?
Well, I have no idea about their connection. But I bet our stinky Bogdanov must have gotten totally lucky that month or something. That's a lot of money. And people with an HGI of only 70 don't make that much.
I think I'm making some progress in the Bogdanov investigation.
Good for you. So what's new?
Piper told me she was suspicious of this art consultancy business he was running.
Why would she be suspicious about that?
Well, for one thing, she claims he had no taste in art, and even said he wasn't the artsy-fartsy type.
That's not a surprise. What else?
She said some foreign visitors would occasionally bring him boxes, and the contents were never displayed or sold on the floor.
Now you're getting somewhere.
And on top of this, Piper overheard that the contents of these boxes were being rented out to certain paying customers. She also mentioned that Bogdanov would refer to these exchanges as art consultancy deals.
You mean he was hiding this rental activity? Why would he do such a thing?
It seems that he did not want his rental activities to be exposed. As Piper put it, something fishy was going on. Oh, Sandra, you won't believe what Lucan told me today.
Let me guess. She's going to take over the ownership of the Thing store?
Be serious, Sandra, for a change.
Oh, well, whatever. So what is it? I'm dying to know.
While in Russia, she was in a nuptial agreement with Mr. Bogdanov.
You are shitting me.
No, I'm not. Julio finally came up with some useful information regarding the case. Then I confronted Larissa about it, and she almost wet her pants. Somehow, she thought she was going to keep that information a secret.
I think you better keep an eye on her. She's awfully sneaky.
Sandra, I need to leave now. Talk to you tomorrow, then.
That dumbass. Who does he think he is? He's way behind me. Those lists are almost an exact match, except for two names, Melvin Spencer and Jillian Jones.
PA, access GPSN census database and add Jillian Jones's address to my navigation map.